morning and welcome to the Waffle Podcast. My name is Liz. This is my podcast where I talk about all the things I have been knitting and crocheting and making. I am a crochet designer. I live in York in the UK with my two Bengal kitties. This is Puka, who is currently, I think, undecided about whether she's going to sit on the sofa or attack it. You may also notice a couple of changes in setup. It has been a while since the last time I recorded and Puka has attacked the tree, so that now has to live somewhere where Puka can't get at it. She's also attacked the board, so the board is looking slightly messy and may not live for many more podcasts to come, but it's here for this one. But it does mean that I've got this nice blank bit of space on the screen here in which I can put up my social media tags, so you can see where to find me, where to follow me, and also where to support this podcast if you so choose to do so. That was a lot of words, probably in the wrong order. But yes, welcome back. It has been a while. Things around here have been noisy and a bit chaotic, so filming just wasn't happening. But I did get a lot of knitting done. So much so that I'm not able to fit it all into one episode. So I've decided to come back with a sock special. Yes, lots of knitting. I have been in a real sock knitting mood. It may be because of the weather, it may be because they are fast projects. It's also just because I've found some really lovely patterns that I can't help but want to knit. They've just been really lovely patterns. So yeah, I am gonna fire straight in with finished objects. And I'm gonna start by showing you the pair of socks that I finished latest, but have actually been on the needles probably the longest time. So long-term viewers of the podcast may recognise these bad boys. I knit the first one of these socks getting on to a year ago, and it was this one here, and you can see how this yarn is a micro striping yarn. It's by Gamer Crafting. Any info, if I don't remember to put it on the screen, will be in the description box, which is on the drop down menu on YouTube, and it was also be on the Yarn Waffle Podcast Instagram account. I always put a episode post up and it tags everybody in there, so it makes it really easy to find any information in there. But if there is anything I forget, just shout at me and I will try and remember to tell you or find out, or we'll figure it out together. But yeah, this sock got knit a long time ago and it pulled like crazy. And I wasn't loving it. Unless I say otherwise, all my socks are knit on 2.25mm needles. I usually go for 64 stitches, I would say otherwise. And this one is just a plain vanilla sock. So I think I've done about 16 rows for rib. And I did a short row heel, but I did a garter short row heel, which is the first time I've ever done that. And standard wedge toe. And yeah, this yarn I just didn't love. So I never cast on the second pair, the second sock. And I always assumed I would. It just never happened because I was gonna sit and knit a sock to end up with a pair of socks that I was never gonna love. So not really exciting. But then I had no real knitting on the needles, that was just round and round and round, and this ball of yarn got used in something else, and I thought, well, if I don't use it now, that second sock is never going to get knit. And so it's knit. It's finally a pair of finished socks. I'm not going to say I 100% love these socks. That pooling does get on my nerves slightly. I don't mind pooling a bit, but I mean, like this I love, where it spirals around here. This I can live without. And also, as much as I love Gamer Crafting yarns, I really do. This was one that came in a mystery box, a monthly subscription type thing, and don't love it. Love the colours. Well, do I love the colours? Purple is not my most favourite colour. So what I'm thinking I might do with these is I might over dye them. I can't decide what colour. Part of me is thinking just to put them in a nice dark green, so all these purpley bits would go brown and it would be like a dark foresty green, so they would be, I don't know. You may see these socks again if I do dye them. I may even do a little vlog of me dyeing them. And let's be honest, I'm not going to sort of take it in stages and get to a colour that I like. They're just going to get plunked into a vat of dye. Maybe. I would say so. But yeah, one pair of vanilla socks with a garter short row heel, done. Pair of socks number 2. Hello, Puka. Sorry, distracted by kitten. Happens all the time. Hang on, I can't really get these in screen. There we go. Not happening. This is where I juggle socks. This is all your sock blocker action happening here. These look rather cute. I think it's fairly obvious these are Christmas socks. This is Christmas yarn by Dusty Dimples. I think it was her Christmas yarn probably 3 or 4 years ago now. If I've remembered, it will be in the description. And the pattern is the London Bridge socks by Mina Phillips of the Knitting Expat. And yeah, I did just hit the sock blockers. So this is a really nice pattern. It gives these like garter ridges along the top. I'm not 100% sure if I followed the pattern for the heel and the toe. I have just done a normal short row heel and a wedge toe there. But yeah, these will go in my Christmas box of socks. I'm not 100% sure what my count is on my box of socks for Christmas at the moment. That needs to happen soon. Definitely this month. We'll do it for Christmas in July. But yeah. Another pair of finished socks. I am trying to wing through these quite speedily because I have quite a few pairs of finished socks. And there's also quite a few socks on the needles. These next ones you have not seen at all. These are a pair of Rose City Rollers, patterned by... No, it's gone. Apparently I can't remember anybody's name today. And the yarn is a mini set. I know the colourway is Cosmic Fruits, but I can't remember who it's by. It will again be on the screen. I really didn't prepare for this till I was just like, it's a nice day, let's film. But yeah, this I got this mini set to go in my mitered square blanket. There'll be an update on that on the next episode. And 20 gram skeins give you quite a lot left over after you put a square in a mitered square blanket, because it only takes like 4 to 5 grams. So I have bought a few mini sets for that blanket, and there are enough left over that I really wanted to use it to make some scrappy socks with, and this is the first pair that I've made that way. These are for Mum, they're Rose City Rollers. I've done 10 rows of each mini, just in a random order, and the only thing I did was there was a speckle in the set, so I have put that in as the toes and as the heels. And other than that, these are completely to the Rose City Roller pattern, which is a free pattern, and these are really nice shorty socks, and I think my mum will love them now I finally let her have them. Yeah, very bright, very crazy, but good fun. Okay. That's 3 finished pairs of socks. Number 4. These can go on the blue nope. Try saying blue blockers fast. Yeah, these can go on the blue blockers. So I don't keep hitting them. Okay. These are plain vanilla socks. knit with a self-striping yarn by the Yarn Badger. This was her Advent colourway from last year, and I have held it with an undyed yarn, and I have knit 2 rows of undyed and 2 rows of self-striping, and that meant that the 30-gram ball of self-striping yarn that I had left has made a pair of socks. And it has even done the cuffs, the heels and the toes. Got that right first try. Even though this is an Advent colourway, I'm not counting these as a Christmas pair of socks unless I feel like cheating at some point. Recording with Picker was such a good idea. Yeah, unless I feel like cheating when it gets to the end of the 24. If I have 23 and it's getting close to Christmas, I might count these, it's Advent yarn. But at the moment, no. Anyone want a kitten? Anyone want a bitey, scratchy, horrible kitten? Anybody want one that knocks cameras over and won't let you work at a computer without biting your feet? You alright, darling? Who loves you, boo? She's just gonna bite me. She's at a very bitey age. Where's your pom-pom? Okay, final pair of finished socks. Okay, she's gone on the floor. That's safe for the camera, but not safe for feet. Excuse me while I just wiggle myself onto my own feet and hopefully keep them safe. On a recent episode of the Bakery Bears, Kay showed us a... Sorry if you can hear noise, the cats are having a little Barney. Cal's decided to join us. Yeah, Kay showed us some of her favourite colourways and how she goes about the dyeing process. And she actually showed like a water bath way of layering colour to create a colourway. I think she called it Fairy Wings or something like that, or maybe that was the pattern she designed with it. Sorry about the grumbling. But yeah, it really inspired me to actually just have a go at her process of yarn dyeing, and I did follow almost bang on how she had done it in the tutorial. I softened the colour slightly just because it was a bit pink for my taste. So I slightly overwashed it with grey, and I also put some grey speckles in, and I dyed up a 200 gram skeins. One was a single, which is actually this skein here. I'll get that in so you can see it. And I dyed up a mini, and I dyed up a skein of sock yarn, which I have knit up. This here, this is actually one of Kay's patterns. This was from the Swish and Flick collective. I got the whole set, and this was the Whispers in the Walls pattern. I did not do, there is like a sword detail that runs down the back. I didn't do that. I'm actually going to take one of these off the blockers so you can actually see the lace pattern, because I think that's what really makes these socks. They're really, really pretty. But yeah, if I just show you the yarn that I dyed up using the method that Kay showed. I mean, it's a wash of beautiful colours, but overall it gives this lovely tonal effect, which I think is really, really pretty. Not the type of thing I would normally dye, but I enjoyed the process. And I mean, let's face it, this is pink, but I really like it. It's a really sort of vintagey, dusty pink, and I think this sort of lacy, traditional sort of style sock goes really well in it. Is that my word? But yeah, if I show you it this way, you can see that design. Not saying it's 100% perfect, but I really enjoyed doing it. Is that blowing out slightly? Slightly. So yeah, this is the Whispers in the Walls pattern. It's a really good pattern, really good. It's the first patterned sock pattern. Okay, that I have actually enjoyed knitting. it's a 12 row repeat, and I think after the second time I'd done that repeat I pretty much had it down. One of the stitches instructions I got a little bit confused about, but I watched a video on YouTube and that just made it so much clearer. And then yeah, I mean these look like cables, but you don't use a cable needle. There's lace, but it is so easy to remember this lace after you've done it a couple of times. And plus it's like, these honestly were the fastest socks I think I've ever knit, because you want to do that 12 rows before you stop pretty much, and therefore I think you only do, well I think I only did, no I did 48 stitches down the leg, so I did it 4 times. So in a sit down and pick up these socks, I only did that 4 times and the leg of one sock was done. And then I did the heels in another sit down, and then I think that, yeah, so I did the repeat of the pattern 5 times on the foot. And obviously you're not doing any patterning on at all on the back. So yeah, they're just so speedy. I have a few other of Kay's patterns that I'm going to be trying. I definitely want to cast on the Nutkin socks. I've got some yarn balled up to do that, and I have already cast on another of these because honestly I can't praise the pattern enough. It's a beautiful sock and it just speeds through it. This is Kay's umbrella toe, which is very similar to what I would have called a round toe that I've done on previous ones, and it's just a heel flap and gusset, a standard slip stitch heel flap and gusset, all the words. So yeah, that is 5 pairs of finished socks in 6 weeks. I'll pick up 4 because it still looks a lovely bundle and I can't bother to take any more off blockers. So yeah, I think Mum's angling for this pink pair. This pair is definitely for her. A pair for the Christmas box. A pair that I'll probably over dye and show you again. And another pair for me that, yeah, just nice socks for me. My brain keeps saying, well, you put them in the Christmas box. No, I'm not putting them in the Christmas box. Not. Cal, you want to come sit here? Come on, darling. Cal is such a good girl now. Like, Puka's such a bad girl that Cal's just like, well, this is how cats are supposed to behave. So she's just like the angel cat now, you wouldn't believe it. Aren't you beautiful? I say that and she goes straight to the camera and she's going to knock it over and she's going to grumble and hey ho. Okay, so I am going to move on into works in progress. They are all socks. This is a sock special. I am not picking an order unless this is the one I don't want to show you just yet. I'll just pick them out. They're all in here. And I will pick them out at random. But as it happens, the first one I have got is my next Whisper in the Walls, which is the pink pattern that I just showed you, 5K Jones. This is actually the second sock here that I have cast on. I think it's 15 rows of rib, but I have finished one of these. So yeah, more sock blocker action while I put them on blockers, and you can listen to the gentle noise of the cats grumbling to each other in the background. Okay. So this is slightly twisted on the sock blocker, but it's quite good because it shows quite a bit of the lace pattern. I cast these on pretty much as soon as I'd cast off the other pair of Whisper in the Wall socks. I just enjoyed that pattern so much. And as it was in my head by then, I thought, well, I'm just going to knit another one. I think it took the best part of a weekend to knit the pink pair, and this sock was knit just over a day. This blue contrast, I'm not 100% sure where it came from. I think it was in some mystery mini skeins I got from my mitered square blanket. It's a lovely blue and it goes with it perfectly. But I have used it in my mitered square blanket, and I've also used it in some other mini projects, and also Puka attacked this mini skein, meaning that a little bit of it got tangled and had to be wound into, well, I think I managed to save most of it, but it did get put into a magic knot ball rather than wound back up. So I didn't have quite as much left as I thought, and I only have this tiny bit left. So I don't have enough to do heel and toe on the next sock. Oh, I did make some modifications this time around because I went for a short row heel and I have done a wedge toe rather than the umbrella toe. That was just because I am working on a pattern that has a short row heel, and I wanted to just do it because it's been a while since I did it. So I put it in here and it works perfectly in here. It looks really nice. But yeah, that doesn't solve the dilemma of not having enough yarn. I have enough yarn to do the toe, so I could get them to match when they were on my feet, because, you know. Or I could take this toe out and knit it in the yarn. Yeah, I could take this toe out and knit it in this yarn. So then I can do a heel on the other one and they match perfectly. Or I dyed up this skein, still has the cable tie attached, which picks out the corally colour. I don't know if you can see that. And so I thought I might knit the second one with heel and toe in this corally colour. So not a match, but nice together. But I don't know, this just is so beautifully summery and beachy, and I'm not 100% sure that. Leave a comment, tell me what you think. Options are: the second sock only has a blue toe, has a normal heel, has a heel in the plain colour. I take out the toe and make them match, or we have a sister's pair where the next one has the coral. So let me know in the comments what you think I should do with that. This main yarn is by Ducky Darlings, and it's one of her monthly clubs, and I think it was the first one, which was Jack and the Beanstalk, and the colourway is Fee-Fi Fo-Fum, and it is beautiful. Beautiful. I have now lost that little blue mini, which is dangerous if Puka comes back in here. Very dangerous. Also in this bag there is another one in Ducky Darling's yarn, and this is the Paper Chains yarn, which is Christmas colourway, which means this is a Christmas pair of socks. And I was knitting, I think, the Slingbacks pattern in this yarn, just wasn't getting on with it. So I ripped it out and I started the Thomasina Socks, which is another pattern by Kay Jones. I've knit these before, and I'm also really struggling this time around. The last time I did this, it's a 2-pattern repeat. I really struggled because I couldn't tell what row I was on. So I say that I'm going to leave it on a plain row. Every time I pick it up, I'm not 100% sure if I did. Like, I can't, yeah, and I can't check. The only way I can check is by just going, and then if it's wrong, it's wrong. And there are spaces in this where it's wrong. I think here. So yeah, I mean, this is, it's one of those things, it's like, I love this yarn, but this just isn't doing much for me, and I'm not choosing to pick it up. So it may go and live on the naughty step for a while, and it may be that I end up ripping these out again and casting on a different pattern. And if you're wondering why the yarn is not attached, it is in this ball. That is because the Puka chewed it. And Luckily it is at the point where I'm going to put in a contrast heel. That's the design. I'll leave that for a minute. Yeah, and I have another we know how I feel about half finished objects. I don't even know why I attempt to say it. Excuse me, talk among yourself while I put this on a blocker. My feet don't feel safe. If you want to know what's going through my head at the moment, it is that my feet do not feel safe because there is Puka running about on the floor. Puka! Okay, similar to the Rose City rollers that I showed at the beginning, I have been buying mini sets for my mitered square blanket, and I have been looking for socks to use those in different ways. And one pattern that I have been wanting to try for as long as it has been out, and it's not that long, is a pattern by Kay Linton, the Crazy Sock Lady, and it's her Rainbow Connection socks. And this is the first one I knit. And this is, the main colour is a Cascade Heritage 4-ply, which is my new commercial yarn obsession. It's so soft and lovely and squishy, and comes in all the beautiful colours and looks pretty in lots of skeins. Yes, and plus, because I want to do sort of quite a few of these minis with a plain stripy, I'm just going to make this sock a lot of times. Yeah, so I have been getting a few of the Cascades. See me. But yeah, this is knit with a mini set that is designed to go together. It's the Kingfisher set by Rhapsody Yarn. And you get 10 mini skeins, 10 gram mini skeins I think it is in the set. In this range of colours, which is perfect for the colours of a Kingfisher. And yeah, I have done the Rainbow Connection socks in this set. And again, this is another one that knits up so fast. There are quite a lot of slip stitches in this, so that might be one of the reasons why it knits up fast. But I did knit this exactly to pattern. I think this is another one that Kay has designed to use self-striping yarn with, so that your second colour would naturally stripe. I have done those stripes manually, as she suggests in the pattern, because she also gives you suggestions on how to use minis with that, which I think is brilliant. Yeah, so these are definitely for Mum. She picked out the Kingfisher mini set yarn as one she wanted a pair of socks in, and I get to use the leftovers of it in my blanket, so quite happy about that. So yeah, that is another for finished first sock. Doesn't work, does it? And the second one is I have got the leg done and I have got the heel flap done, so I just need to turn the heel and work the foot, and that will be a pair of socks done. And hopefully I'll get those done for the next normal episode, not the next catch-up episode. So yeah, so they are the Rainbow Connection socks by Kay, the Crazy Sock Lady. What's in this one? This bag is by Siobhan's Craft. It was a little mystery bag, mystery loop bag that I got. And in here is the sock tubes in the yarn that I dyed myself. I'm looking at them thinking, are they the same length? Yeah, they are the same length. These are still tubes, but they do have toes and cuffs on. And they are two tubes? Pick your words. Yeah, these have not been turned into socks because I cannot decide who they are for. But in a way I kind of like that, because it does mean that I could just keep these, and then if I need a present for somebody in a hurry, all I have to do is cut in heels and they have a present. So I'm not saying I'm going to be in a hurry to put heels in on these. This, I don't know if I said, is self-striping yarn that I dyed myself. It's not the best one I've ever dyed. There are a few bits where the colour didn't take. But I actually really like the colours of it. I think it's really good fun. It was really nice to knit. Really nice base. I was really pleased with it. And yeah, every time I see these, all I want to do is dye more self-striping yarn. But at the moment, I need a new board to warp out the yarn on. When you do self-striping yarn, you have to wind out. And I need a new board, and I am in the process of making a new one. The contrast that I used for the toes is it's the yarn that I knit my flax light out of, if you're a long time viewer of the podcast. I know the colourway is Pear Dress, and I don't know why I want to say, is it Malabrigo? Maybe. Ignore me. I know all about yarn, that's why I do a podcast. I just, yeah. Okay. So finally, in a bag that I made, one of the Cassie bags, is a new design I've been working on. A knitting design. A knitted sock design. Are you excited? I'm very excited about this. I'm going to show you the attempt that didn't quite work first, but you'll get an idea. It's not finished. I mean, there are 2 finished socks in this bag, but they don't match. I think I'm slightly making this more complicated than it needs to be. Okay, so I have, as you can see, done quite a few socks with mini skeins and self-striping yarn. I'm slightly obsessed with self-striping yarn. That is really what I want to be making and dyeing. And I really like patterns that think about self-striping yarn or using it with mini skeins and getting that progression of colour, or even like using it with a fade or something. That would be really nice. So I wanted to do that, and I have had this thing in my head for ages of wanting to do a colour work sock using a self-striping yarn. So you'd have a plain yarn and a self-striping and a self-striping, just really pretty. And I really wanted like a simple motif and to pull, but also to look like it was more complicated than it was. And I sort of finished a colour work project, well, half finished it, you'll see next time. And oh, postman's here, 1 minute. Ow. Well, that was dignified. Legs had fallen asleep from being crossed on the chair. Barely get downstairs. Oh, tried to open the door, door was locked. I'm a shambles, shouldn't be around people. If you want to know what was in the post, it was the new dowels for my new warping board. Not too exciting, but quite exciting for me. Yes, so what was I saying? Oh, just dashed up and downstairs. Yeah, so I had this idea. And there's a motif that I really like. I keep coming back to it. I've done a few... now I can't think of any words. Right, so I'm just going to shut up because I can't find the words. And I'm going to show you the prototype version, which is this version here. And this was knit with the Cascade Heritage that I was talking about before in the Lunar Rock colourway, which is one of my favourite colourways. It's a really, really pale grey. And West Yorkshire Spinners in the, not the Paradise, maybe it's the Pina Colada, something like that colourway. It'll be in descriptions. It was one that I actually got. I showed it in acquisitions a while ago on the podcast. And yeah. So this is the design I came up with. It's this cube, and what I did was, to get over the fact that I needed 3 colours, I alternated the colours on one surface of the cube. So I thought that worked pretty well. Unfortunately, what I didn't know about this yarn, I thought it was a straight self-striping. It's not, it sort of has these blendy bits. And also this colour is too pale for the colour work to show up properly. I still think it's really cute, and I hope I will make a pair so this becomes a pair of socks. This is my round toe pattern, which I actually really enjoy. And on this sample I did a heel flap and gusset. Now on the base of the foot I've changed the pattern just because I wanted it to be as smooth as possible when you're wearing it. And you can see there's a few things I'm not happy about here. I'm not 100% happy about this line. I'm not 100% happy about the striping yarn that I've used, although on screen it looks pretty good. And the other thing I wasn't happy about was it was a bit complicated. Like the heel flap and gusset pattern was a bit complicated. If just simple things that you want to be easy in a pattern, like where is your start of row, where, you know, you don't want a pattern that's going to end up with 8 ends to weave in, even if it is colour work. Although, hang on. 1, 2, 4. 4 ends max. On this one anyway. And I don't know if you can see, but on this side, like this line here was because when you picked up the stitches for the heel flap, this became the end of row, and I wasn't happy about that. And I could have changed that, but that would literally have been like, okay, cut your yarn and rejoin your yarn here once you've picked up your stitches. Nah, I didn't want that. So when I knit the next one, I decided to change this for a short row heel, and that's what I was practicing on those ones before. Because as much as I like the fact that you get extra room here with the heel flap and gusset, because this is quite a simple colour work without long floats, and because I've changed the pattern on the base of the foot, you shouldn't have stretch issues with it. It should just be absolutely fine. So short row it was, and then that simplifies everything. I got some different self-striping yarn. I was really hoping to get something from the Yarn Badger, but there was nothing that really worked in her shop at the Mo, and none of the yarns I've got from her particularly work at the Mo. So I went back to Yorkshire Spinners, and I think I got their Paradise colourway. It's very much just a rainbow. And I wanted to continue using that Luna Rock, that cascade, just because I really like it. It's different enough from like an undyed yarn, and I don't know, I just really like grey in geometric things. But yeah, how cool is this? I changed the motif slightly so it looks better. I worked on how we do this line here, which is really nice. This is the same, so this changed slightly, cuff, and I also changed to a wedge toe rather than that rounded toe. And the short row heel. Yeah, what do you think? This is a knitting pattern designed by me. Doesn't have a name yet. I am looking for testers. The pattern is almost ready to go out to testers. I do have it typed up. There are a couple of things I want to check and change on it. It doesn't look very pretty yet, but yeah, it is. All the information is on the page. It has been checked. It is ready to go out to testers. So if you are interested, well, this information will hopefully still be on the screen. So yeah, I have knit the first one. The second one is done. It's just ready for the heel next. These are also relatively quick to knit. They are just 3 pattern repeats on the leg and 4 on the foot, depending on how long you want the foot. You can actually see if this is quite floppy because it's a bit longer. but actually I really wanted these to really fit me well, so that's what I've gone for. So yeah. Oh, I can give proper information. Rum Paradise is what this yarn is. This is the West Yorkshire Spinners. And the one that I was originally using doesn't have a name on it, but it is that one there. Really pretty. So yeah, that is all that is in that bag. So hopefully this pattern will be coming out soon, or as soon as testers are happy with it and I'm happy with it and I could do a photo shoot. But yeah, another knitting pattern out. I'm so excited about it. Just, I mean, I personally absolutely love it. It's just one of the happiest socks. And I think we need happy socks right now. Definitely. I need happy socks. Don't know about you. I need happy socks. It also needs a name, but I'm not calling it happy socks. I might be persuaded on that, you never know. Zip, zip, zip. Yeah, we're nearly there. I've got a few acquisitions to show you and then I'll have a little bit of a chat about some bits and bobs that are going on. The UK is slowly coming out of lockdown. I am still not back at work, so not back at my other job. I still work from home, I'm constantly doing that, but it doesn't mean that I haven't been going out to work. So yeah, so I'm still trying to keep spending on yarn to the absolute essentials only. And I think you'll agree these are, it's all essentials. But everybody needs the odd treat. So I have been buying some mini skein bundles, which I don't have to show you because they've been going into my mitered square blanket, but I think you'll forgive me when you see that next week. And the odd little thing will crop up. And it's just like, wow. Well, one of those was Rhapsody yarn, the dyer behind the Kingfisher set that is in my Rainbow Connection socks. Put a post up in Facebook saying she dyed this yarn, it was amazing yarn and we all needed it. And I was like, well yeah, I do. And I clicked on and I bought it straight away because it is just beautiful. It is all the colours. Just get in there. Just enjoy this. So yeah, this is Rhapsody yarn, who you've definitely heard me talk about before. And this is her colourway Omni Shambles, which is her sort of feelings about everything that's been going on recently. And I can stand with this. Omni Shambles is a brilliant word. This yarn is beautiful, and if I needed a yarn just so that I had one reminder of this time, I mean, there will be lots of reminders, nobody's forgetting this lockdown situation in a hurry, but yeah, I thought I needed one, and so Omni Shambles it was, and yeah, I love it, I cherish it, it will be knitted into something beautiful. The other one that I got is also sort of the theme of the times that we're living in. I have been getting a few bits from Schwarz Crafts because she does the most amazing mini bundles. And on one of her updates I saw a yarn that I just couldn't pass up. And it also has a beautiful name, it's called Silver Linings, and it is a beautiful yarn. It is grey and all the colours of the rainbow. Look at that beauty. So yeah, Schwarz Craft. As far as I know, this is an ongoing colourway, so you can get this in her updates. It's just so pretty. Yeah. And my final acquisition is also from Schwarz Craft, and I couldn't resist when she put up clubs, and I don't think I've ever been able to get one of Schwarz Craft's monthly clubs before. Rather never spotted them or never been in time to get them. Somebody knows what's in here. Somebody's gonna get it before me. Yeah, she put up that her newest monthly club was Moana, the Disney film Moana. That is my film. If I need cheering up, I am just like, yes. I'm a big fan of Lin-Manuel Miranda, who did a lot of the music for it. It's just, yeah. I need that on in the background all the time. So when she said it was Moana, I was like, I'm in, I'm having that. And I don't know if I can get Puka to play with this. First of all, there was this in with it, which, I mean, I feel like you wouldn't be happy if I didn't do this. So, yeah, you get it. She's not... You're a pretty princess, Puka. Are you a pretty princess? This is officially cat abuse. But you're with me on this, aren't you? It had to happen. It's mine now. And there was a beautiful set of stitch markers, which is actually what Puka is playing with in here. So yeah, let me show you these. Little boat, little Moana one, and a beautiful shell. Ooh, shaky hands. Aren't those fab? So yeah, that is what she is after. So, I'll hide that. That was the post, I don't know if you heard it. And the yarn colourway is called Moana Dances with the Water. Isn't that fab? Doesn't it just sing Moana to you? I do not know what this yarn will become. Possibly socks, but I just like having it in my life. And there is nothing wrong with that. Yeah, so that's it. There are other acquisitions to show. I feel like look like I'm on a bit of a hen party or something at the moment now. I'll show them on the next episode. Hang on. If I hold these, then I might be able to control Puka. Okay, yeah, so that's pretty much all we have for this sock special. I'll stop fiddling with my hair now. Just time for a bit of chatty waffle at the end. It's been, yeah, 6 weeks since I filmed, so mainly I have been here. Lockdown is starting to lift in the UK, but I am not back at Dutton's yet. It doesn't look like I am going back. I am in the process of being made redundant from there just because they don't need as many staff due to the restrictions on businesses. It's a bit sad, and I definitely need to find another job, but I've been there forever. So yeah, it's a bit weird, but there's not a lot I can do about it. It is what it is. This whole sort of COVID situation is going to affect so many people in so many ways, and we're only just beginning to see, you know, that now. So yeah, I'm being made redundant, but hopefully it means that I can start dyeing more yarn and doing more stuff. And my battery is going to die any minute, so I'm going to wrap this up really quickly. Yeah, I've been knitting loads, making stuff out in the garden, playing with kittens, and trying not to get too down in the dumps about certain things. But yeah, I'll probably talk a little bit more about this on the next episode, just because my battery is about to go. So yeah, I'm going to wrap up the sock special for now, and I'll see you very soon with everything else I've been knitting during these past 6 weeks. Yeah, thank you for watching. Please do give it a like button, that really helps get this video out to more people, and subscribe if you don't already. It's very much appreciated. You can support the podcast in any of the following ways, or you can find me online in those ways too. And yeah, it's been nice hanging out with you for a bit. I'll see you really soon. Bye!